boots on the ground, putting it down. Get up, get up. I got something to tell you. I don't think they want you to know, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Best-selling researcher Mickey D. I host The Scoop, aka the Baby Knockout Goat. Ladies and gentlemen, The Scoop is for your education, your entertainment, your information only. I'm not a stockbroker, not a money manager, not a financial advisor. Nothing I say should be misinterpreted as financial advice. Do your own due diligence. You're responsible for your account. And when it goes up thousands, millions of dollars, then you can give me the credit. But when it goes down, don't give me the blame. Isn't that the way politics is? Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, good night to you. It is, about 62 degrees or so, about 16.6 or so Celsius. It's a wonderful, wonderful day where I am. I hope you're having a great day also. I want to talk to you today about a problem I see developing with our uranium market and our uranium trade. It's a good thing, though. And I don't want anyone at any time to be shaken out of this trade, especially with your great uranium stocks right now. So strap up here, listen to me for a second, and I think you're going to see something. You're going to get something out of this, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we like to make fun of the Russian-controlled side of the world. The uranium side of the world, Russian-controlled side. Kazatomprom. You know, we've been talking about Kazatomprom for a long time. Yeah, I tried to say it like the Germans say it. You know, that's I don't know in German, but anyway, I talk sometimes like that, and that's my German. German, Mickey D. No, I don't have any German in me, but the market this week, it was a little tricky in uranium. It was a little tricky. We've had to learn so much when it comes to this. We've had to learn a lot. We've had to learn what conversion was. We've had to learn what enrichment was. We've had to learn overfeeding, underfeeding. And, come with all these different $1,000 words that we all, had to learn and find out what was going on. Some of us more than others. If you've been in the market for a while, you guys know what's going on here. But this particular week, we had some legislation, and the legislation involved the United States banning imports of uranium. The United States getting money from the government, proposed money from the government to get its nuclear program up to par, And those things seem to have ruffled feathers in Moscow. And the Russians have said, well, you politicians, if you vote to stop the ban imports, we're going to cut you off first. So we've got a battle here going. Who's going to cut who off first? Who's going to ban uranium first? I don't know. We don't know who's going to do what. But it's developing what's called a bifurcated market, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to hear this a lot. It's bifurcated, bifurcated market. What's that mean, Mickey D? Well, it's just the division, ladies and gentlemen, of the East and the West when it comes to uranium. There's going to be a side that Kazatomprom is going to love, which is going to be the East side, and then the West side is, I don't know how you're looking at this, the West is going to be essentially, I don't like that word basically, it's going to be essentially Australia, it's going to be the United States, and it's going to be Canada. And we'll have some countries in Africa, depending on, people are people, you treat people bad and they side with the other team. If you treat people good, they go to your team, It's just how you treat people. And right now, China, and over the past, I would say 15 years, at least 10 years, I've been talking about how the Chinese have been coddling all the supplies in Africa. So whether you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, Russia's here. What do you want? East, West, Crips, Bloods, whatever you want to call it, communism, socialism, whatever you want to call it, you know, there's going to be sides taken. And that in itself could make uranium, the price of uranium per pound, explode, ladies and gentlemen. I've been calling for a $5 to $10 spike up, and then we were going to take a look at taking a little bit off the table, taking a little profits, right? I don't know. Word got back to Moscow, and Kazatomprom went crazy at the end of the week, which, you know, it went up. You know, the squeeze-upple is alive and well. You know, but I thought we'd be squeeze-uppling before they started squeeze-uppling in the East. But apparently, no, they beat us to the punch, you know. And I wasn't keeping on top of it because I was at the Raiders game. You know, I ran into a baby knockout investor. We're going to have an interview with him. A gentleman named Tim. He had a very, very unique, a very good take on the Bitcoin area right now and what's going on. You definitely want to get that interview. I tell you, Tim will be coming on here. Give it a few days, and that's coming on. But right now, you know, it's really, really a time when you really need to hunker down, and the news is going to be worthy of news, you know, because there's not going to be shipments, ladies and gentlemen, if there are, you know, ships being fired on, if they're mining the areas for ships to hit these bombs and holes in the ships and they sink, right? I'll give you a quick story. I was in the 80s. It was we had problems in the 80s with Central America. We had the strong guys down there, you know, and Ortega down in Central America. My ship, I was on an aircraft carrier. You guys know I was on the USS Ranger, and the Ranger we were responsible for that area, and I was supposed to fly out onto the Ranger, and I couldn't fly out because it was too dangerous in the area. So, you know, all they did, there was a few of us, it was too dangerous. So I had to stay in Honolulu, the beaches there of Hawaii, for an extra 45 days. Can you imagine that? Honolulu for an extra, yeah, that's what I had to do. So poor me, poor me. But it was great, and I really liked it. But the point of that I'm trying to say is when there's not going to be any shipments. See, we get this stuff by way of ship. You know, there's not going to be an aircraft carrying uranium. You know, if it's shot out, that's, please, you know, you can imagine the destruction. But so if the ships are fired, there's going to be at the very least a bottleneck, a new bottleneck supply problem with uranium at the very least. But I'm saying that there's going to be bifurcation, man. There's going to be east-west, and it's just going to be divided. We're going to have our market, they're going to have their market. That could spell problems. We have stocks that could literally jump out of bed overnight and go, people say, to the moon and back is the possibility. Now, I'm just saying $5 to $10 spike, and let's take a look at it. But the possibility, and I don't want you to be shaken out. Don't be shaken out. There's a possibility of a super spike, you know? And I've been calling for this. I even called for it in the book. I wrote it. I'm not just saying, this is not something that Mickey D is just saying. I said that if there was a conflict with us and Russia because we were too dependent on their uranium, this is years ago. This is in the book, Marijuana Today, Vanadium and Uranium Tomorrow. Companies get in to early, hold, and grow rich. If you got those companies, your growth time is right now. You're getting ready to grow rich. You know, it's on you. It's on you. So if you're patient here and you see what's developing right now, no one can shake you out of these positions. You know, many of us have made a lot of money already. You've made hundreds and thousands of percent or what have you. You know, But these stocks, I'm telling you, if a stock has something like uranium, they've spotted uranium and it's there and they control that area. They're actively testing, drilling right now. They're getting ready to get in production. Even some of the old mothballed areas that were producing and stuff, they're going to be very, very valuable. There are a few companies in America with mills that are going to be very, very valuable. The government is going to depend on them. I know this to be a fact. You know, I know this to be a fact, and you guys know I don't come here on here very often. I'll quote somebody else, but I know this myself to be a fact. So I know, man, there's a development here. It's an opportunity. So stick with those stocks that have something. Stick with those stocks that have something. I'm telling you right now, this opportunity, this is much better than when we traded. Oh, the setup is much better than when we traded '04 to '07. And you talk to some of the OGs and they'll tell you this setup is about as good as it gets here when it comes to uranium. When you have the supply demand imbalance that we have right now, where's the supply coming from? And the demand is just going to come. Yeah, they're sitting on two years or so supply. But when people are funny, when there's cracks in the system and the lights go out, people like Ted Cruz that was blocking the in Texas when the electricity went out when they had that storm here a few years ago. Some people can tell us about it. Ted Cruz was spotted in the airport there. He was going to Central America where it was warm. He had all his family. Yeah, they spotted. Yeah, he was. Yeah. He's a politician. He can get away from all this. But most of us, we live in this country, and when we flick the lights on, we want the lights to go on. So we'll see exactly what's going on here. I got a couple people around me, the birds up here, and different things and stuff. But we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to let you guys know that it's a problem. Don't be shaken out. These stocks will drop down. There's tax law selling. There's everything going on right now. We're at that time at the end of the year where people have to do things. Fund managers have to do things. They paying dividends. They got to do things. Got to sell this, do that, whatever. There's all kinds of things going on at the end of the year. But you know what I like to use the end of the year for? Those stocks that I like that take a real dip, a real serious dip, and I like to pick up more shares of them. That's why I have a couple dollars here left over for the end of the year. But it's been a tricky week, and like I said, it's been trying there. Rosatom is saying there's no problem. They fulfill all their shipments all the time. That kind of tells me that when they say there's no problem, there may be a problem. And Kazatomprom has said that they don't they'll take it either way. They're saying you go ahead and ban us, we're going to ban you before you ban us. So somebody's going to ban somebody. And I'm not talking about the Gap ban. I'm not talking about Kool and the Gang's ban or anything like that. I'm talking about they're going to say no more uranium. They're going to say we're not giving you no more uranium. They have the cheap uranium there. They've been flooding China. China knows what's up. We've been getting a little bit from China. We get some Canada, but America's going to be on its own, and America is going to have to go ahead and get our nuclear industry in order, and we got to get this thing rolling. That's all there is to it, guys. We got to do our own thing. Those mines that can mine are gonna mine. Those people that can work that do, they're gonna do what they got to do. That's all there is to it. You're on your own, America. That's the way it's gonna be. So those stocks, those companies right now, hang on for dear life because those things are gonna go up and away, in my opinion. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. Scoop is for your education, your entertainment, your information only. I'm not a stockbroker, not a money manager, not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence. Take a look at the videos, and you'll see some of those stocks that we've been focusing on over the last 4 to 5 years. There's videos out there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just not talking. I'm walking the walk, man. I'm trading my 6-figure account, man, and I'm gonna be trading up until up. I want that other digit. I want that other zero. And that's where we're headed. With our uranium trade alone, ladies and gentlemen. Love you. God bless you. Take care of you and your family. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest this trading week coming up. There may be a lot of volatility, but it's based on chirping and talking right now. But when it's based on reality, when when Putin signs something, or when Biden signs something, hold on to your wigs and toupees. It's going to be on. Love you. God bless you. Take care of you and your family. Check out these videos.